It's lovely to be here with Kugeran from TVTY. How has your week been so far?
It's been pretty good. A lot of meetings and proposals getting us set up for obviously finishing off with the Q4 and starting with 2017. So it's been pretty busy.
Talking about Q4, the Twitter Q3 results have come out and it's not looking great. Do you think that Twitter has got a future?
It's hard to say for certain, but based on what's happening right now, consumers are engaging well with the platform. They've got about 800 million visitors coming through every month. The engagements with the brand are looking very healthy as well, looking around about 64%. The truth is if we're looking the way Twitter's going, it's about how brands are being treated on there and how brands respond within Twitter's environment. What we're seeing right now is that 80% of digital marketing managers are investing quite heavily. So it's be interesting to see how things will turn out.
Definitely want to keep monitoring. Also in the news this week, Time Warner has merged with AT&T. Do you think it's a sign that consolidation is a wider trend between content production and distribution companies?
The consolidation between the two is a sign that internet is changing consumption. As the chief executive at AT&T said, Randall Stevenson, that they wanted to create premium content for TV and in mobile, and this pretty much is a direct response to consumer demand. The evidence behind that is even though people are more becoming more savvy and watching more rich content, traditional TV is not going to die, and we're seeing things like just over in the Euros during the semi-finals when Wales was playing, 9.6 million people tuned in to watch that, and along with during the X Factor, just over 7 million people. So traditional TV will be there, but bigger brands and mass audience are being attracted to so the synergy between the two is good for both areas.
In the State of Media 2017, it says that e-commerce will be a big driver of revenue in 2017. How important do you think it is as a revenue source?
It's a very interesting option for media owners, especially when we look at things like the way publishers are using direct sales nowadays, and obviously things like with coupon redemptions in print and press. So when publishers make that next step, it's quite a natural step for them to kind of head towards. And with obviously the number one goal being revenue, and this revenue is going to come through directly through ad revenue itself. And this can be only achieved when we're looking at things like when they're maximising the relevancy to make sure that the content, the ad and the consumers are always relevant, and they can drive natural progression within through e-commerce to drive revenue in that aspect.
Finally, we're coming up to the deadline for our Meet the Millennials competition for this year. If you could speak to your 21-year-old self and give them some advice, what advice would you give them?
Interesting. It'd probably be to invest a bit more in upselling myself at every opportunity, to be a bit more adventurous and daring. Trying to be reserved is probably not the best practice, I guess, when you're young and you've got a bit more energy running through you. Especially nowadays as well, as digital media has kind of evolved at a rapid rate. There's different skill sets needed, and the one that's shouting out these days has always been data. Data is being the king, so being data literate and having an analytical mind is a key thing. But it's not always about being creative, it's about taking the next step and being brave. And also it kind of brings to light as well when you start working with bright people and young and like-minded people, and the team kind of spurs you on to be the next best and push you that further. So using TVTY as an example, and this is why it's a bit of a pleasure to work here, because they're like-minded people, they're innovative, and they're kind of always striving, pushing you to become the next best.
Brilliant, thank you very much, and I hope you have a lovely weekend.